to you. How are you doing? My name is Grace Mathoni, and welcome to A Farmers Media, where we are telling you the story of the African farmer, one story at a day. And this morning, it's no different. This is the breakfast show, and it comes to you every single day from Monday to Friday, from 8 a.m. all the way to 10 a.m. in the morning. And this morning, it's a lovely day here in Kitengela. It's raining. So, guys, if, in case you left your house without an umbrella, or without a sweater, you're about to dance to the tune of the rain. But hey, a little rain never hurt anybody. And for the farmers, we are all smiling because now it is time to start, get preparing our shambas and waiting for the rains in abundance. Yeah, it is time for the long rains, although that has been distracted kidogo by climate change hapa pale. But don't worry because at least it is here. This morning we'll look at traffic, but not right now. In the next 20 or so minutes, we'll look at traffic. But as something I want us to look at before we delve into what we have prepared for you this morning is a few statistics that are quite troubling about COVID-19 in the country. And hey, it is not even funny. Let's start with the fact that there is a crisis. There's an oxygen crisis. So yeah, you don't want to be found on the other side of this, because now that people who need oxygen, who can't breathe on their own, that means they've really been adversely affected by the third wave for corona, will need to rely on oxygen. And there is none. There are no gas cylinders. There's no oxygen to sustain that life, because the ones that we have, the few ones that we have already been used up or are being used right now. And a few people here and there have bought a few, personalized ones that they can keep for their families. So it boils down to you and I. If you can breathe on your own, keep breathing on your own. You don't want to be here where we are looking or trying to get oxygen for you. Now, something else about farming that we'll get in we'll get to it in a bit. In the last 24 hours, um the caseload that was tested was not really, the samples that were tested were 3,395 in the last 24 hours. And we had a positive turnout of 902 people. That is getting out of hand. And the total caseload of all people infected so far stands at 131,116 people so far. And it gets worse because just yesterday we lost 18 patients, and the death toll stands at 2,135. And that is what is currently ongoing in this country. So in the last 24 hours, we still have today, we still have tomorrow, we have cessation of movement in 5 counties. We are trying to keep it together, because this monster is here, and this time it's not joking, and it's taking our loved ones away faster than we thought we'd lose them. And it's leaving scores of injured people emotionally, physically. And it's causing trauma. So it is really sad. Like today, I know of a person who's going to be buried because, well, COVID just knocked, and 3 weeks later, they're no more. And it's really sad. And then it even makes me more sad to see that we are not wearing our face masks. We are not sanitizing or washing our hands as often as we can. And we have totally ignored, the distance thing. It's no longer working. In matatus, tunapandishwa watatu wanne. It I don't get it. I don't. And it's really, it boils down to you and me, because if I take care of myself and you're able to take care of you, then we're raising a community that is healthy. And like I always say, prevention is better than cure. We don't want to be in the hospital beds. We don't want to be the guys who are asking for extra oxygen because we can't breathe on our own. We need to stop this community infections. And how do we do that, you ask me? Cool. 3 simple steps. Have your face mask on at all times, covering your face, covering your mouth and your nose. The second thing, sanitize. And I said it's not an either nor process, it's a do the three of them, because they help each other. They cover all the bases. Yeah, because now let's be honest, if I've covered my face, that is my nose and my mouth, and you have done the same, and we have a meter of 1.5 distance between you and I, and before we even met we had washed our hands, like 2 seconds before, and then we meet and then you speak, do you think anything will affect me? Do you think anything will affect you when I speak? Of course not. So you see, it is as simple as that. It is all we need to do. Sanitize, wash your hands as often as you can, maintain a physical distance of about 1.5 to 2 meters, and have a face mask every time you leave the comfort of your house. And hey, here is the best part of it all. If you don't need to be outside your house, tulia kwako. Keti kwako. It is important. Can you imagine you getting paid to stay at home and work from home? How amazing is that? Did we think it would sister day? Well, folks, here it is, and you need to stay home to at least so that we can stop the communal infection, and you can also prevent yourself and your loved ones. Is that clear? Are we together? All right. Now, we've been talking largely about what we need to do. We need communal land maybe to help us farm. We've talked about problems that new stroke young farmers face. And it has been like that for quite some time now, right? So we're trying to cover all the bases so that tukisema kazi ni kazi sasa tuingie huko ndani, we will no surface will left uncovered, right? So today we are talking about green farming. Yes, I know you're looking at me thinking about greenhouses. Are you for real? No, no. It shares in this, but we're not talking about greenhouses at all. We're talking about green farming, how we are going back to the way we began before we introduced synthetic things in our soil, before we brought pesticides, before we even, before we got to where we are, that we're even using plastics on our shamba and to grow our food. Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad if it works for you, and if you've tried something else na imekosa ni sawa. We are just saying, can we try looking maybe what you've been looking all this time, maybe so that you can have persistent or a constant pattern of rains, like right now we're supposed to be having long rains. Kumenyesha places zingine, other places it is still dry. Like right now it was about to rain and the rain has gone. You see, this effect up on a pale. We can also try and try restore our climate of the climate change, because hey, the things that we are emitting into the air are crazy. Yeah, we try planting trees, we try doing forestry. Yeah, these are all things that are called they are underground farming. So do not be baffled. I'm here to help us understand what all that is. Now, first of all, we need to start refusing the word that nature will take care of things. Nature has been overwhelmed. Right now, nature is overwhelmed. We overwhelmed it the day we began throwing plastic paper bags, plastic bottles into the sea, into the ocean, into the shamba. Haven't you not seen or gone to a shamba and you're maybe you're tilling it, right? Monalima. And then the things that are underneath the soil, the plastic papers, plastic water bottles, and you're wondering, huh, how did even this get here? Ilifikaje hapa? So you see, that is how bad, that is how things, how bad nature has been affected, that it is not able to take care of itself. And just recently, since we began wearing face masks, let's call it more a year ago, right? Since it was about March last year, same time, right? And then we started wearing face masks, and you can attest to that almost in every corner on the road kuna face mask. Msa alitoa akatupa tu hivyo tu, disposing it just like that, openly, hivyo tu. And we're here saying nature will take care of itself. Do you see it won't be able to? It's been overwhelmed for such a long time. We have even gone as far as declaring our country, plastic non-compliant. Hatutaki plastic bags. We cannot. We're trying to, try and help nature take care of us, because we have overwhelmed it, and we are growing daily. Like I said, Africans, the population is going up by a very big number yearly or annually, and it's not about to stop. and we are taking up so much space right now, and we need to know how to get ourselves together because tusipojipanga tutapangwa, and when nature comes and decides to panga us, we won't have so much of a choice now, will we? Now, let's talk about environmental healing technology that reduces environmental damages, which contribute to poverty reduction and sustainable agricultural development. Now, we can go into this right now and look at we will also look at sustainable agriculture because it is intertwined with green agriculture. But for now, let's look at some of the things that are causing us to to want to move or to shift to green farming since nature has been overwhelmed and it's not able to take care of itself. One, we are having a higher cost of energy. I mean, for example, in the studio we're using too much light, and it's all right because we need to use it, otherwise you won't see me. You'll only hear my voice and probably see my teeth, right? But let's start from there. How much energy do you use in your house? From the gas unatumia kupika na stima unatumia kuona. Tuanze hapo. How much? Do you want me to continue? No? Okay. All right. We are not here to judge anyone. We're just saying that these are the things that we're doing, and they're harming our environment. And soon enough, we won't have anything at all. I don't even know. I think there'll be a time when my kids will be seeing pictures of trees, and then we'll be telling them these things lived here with us, and they used to give us very cool breezes. You could even study under a tree, like in COVID times when classes were not enough. And Mago has said, sasa mutasoma kama meketi chini ya viti, chini ya miti. Anyway, it's not even funny, but we also have population growth that is damaging the environment. Yes. And we also have urbanization. And there's a moment to talk about urbanization where we are leaving fertile land back at the rural areas. We are going to overpopulate the cities that are already there, because, well, we're looking for different things, different places. If you're looking for blue collar jobs in Nairobi city, Majengo, if you're looking for white collar jobs, kazi ya ofisi, you know, maybe being a teacher, maybe being a lawyer, and the blue collar jobs could also include you probably just being an artist, drawing things on the canva and selling it. And it's not bad. It is alright. If that is what brings food on your table, please do that. But when we leave the land at home that is bare and it's losing its value, and then we sit down and decide, tutarudi home, tuchune hiyo majani, and then we start constructing hypermarkets, supermarkets, and because can you imagine right now? I was looking at this with a few friends, and we're talking over it. The fact that right now, uh, when we want to go and to like take a holiday, yeah. Normally you would do that in town, yeah. Leave shags, come to town to see tall buildings, see malls, walk into malls, go to cinemas, see Nairobi. Isn't Nairobi Eye into Rivers Mall, yeah? See such things, right? And have fun and probably go boat riding and such things. But do you know right now those things tunatoka town tunaenda ushago kuzipata? Can you imagine? That is where we are with urbanization, and that is what we are, and that is how we are harming our natural habitats. That's just it. Imagine, at right now you live here, go to Nanyuki to to a resort. Go swim there, go, enjoy your family, with your family, have fun, watch birds, and come back to Nairobi to work. I've never, I don't think even our greatest grandparents or our ancestors really sat down and foresaw this. But yo, where we are at right now, it is bad. And that's why I feel like green technology, or at least green farming, should take us back, to at least sustainable agriculture through green farming. It's I think it's what is it's a missing link, and the fact that right now we are having things like technology to help us ease the burden of farming, of marketing, of meeting with your clients, of collecting information of what is happening to the things you're growing, or how to even grow something that has not been grown in your locality before, but you can learn online, but you can learn from other farmers online, but you can conduct meetings now that cessation of movement is real and meeting is almost non-existent. But hey, here we have Google meetings, Zoom meetings, Google calls. I mean, you transact all these things online. So imagine having a webinar or a seminar where you are learning how to do all these things within where you are. You just have your shamba. All you need to do is log in or tune in and listen to people give you advice and and good stuff, and you implement that in your land. I don't see why we shouldn't try to have a sustainable agriculture through green farming. And like I mentioned, it's just kweli we need to do vitu tu kadhaa tu tumekuwa things that we have adopted over time, and we are thinking, oh, it's gonna be hard to leave them. It's gonna be hard, and I'm thinking, no, it shouldn't be hard. I mean, let's start from let's go back to communal farming. It is not gonna be hard. It shouldn't be hard. And if you feel like a whole village can't just own land together or farm together, cool. Call your 10 friends, call your neighbors, tell them, tufanye hiki tu, we have land that is just bare there. Why don't we try doing doing something with it? Yeah. And in them and when you are doing that, include your kids, because CBC is here and it's trying to bring some of these practices back. Because let me tell you something, I don't think I ever sat through an agriculture class. I don't remember. I had an option of choosing whether I want to even try. And of course, that was a foreign thing. So I said, no, it cannot happen. I think I went to a business class or something, right? And it's not bad. If it is not in your blood to want to farm, it's all right. But the majority of those of us who are willing to start to give it a try, and there's nothing you lose if you just give it a try, I mean, what do you gotta lose? Nothing. Just say one day in your class niketi hapo nisikize, and you're all right now in Kenya as well as globally, in Africa, no, not really globally, but in the continent, in the African continent, we are trying to be able to produce food in a manner that we are secure even 4 years from now, should nothing else grow on our lands, should the rain stop coming, should the sunshine is we are not going to help, germinate your food. Should that happen, maybe in the next 1 decade, we are able to sustain the population that is amongst us, and even have surplus for for such times, right? We're trying to get to food system sustainability, but maybe it will start with the small things. What are you using to kill pesticides in your farm? What do you do intercropping? Do you try use fertilizer from the animals that you're keeping instead of just buying the processed fertilizer? What are you trying to do? Have you tried some of these things and decided this works more than when I do this? And in that process, you can notice you are saving money, that is resources that are scarce. You are saving, as well as you're saving, you know, too much. You're saving me and the other consumer, because even these things that we're using to grow our foods, they are affecting we the consumer and you as well with your family, because you can't tell me you're going to plant things like maize, alafu mkitaka kupika githeri you're going to buy maize again from another farmer. It is unheard of. It has never been heard of. It's crazy. So what do? You farm, let's say you grow maize and you decide you're going to just use a quarter of that for your family and your extended family, and then dispose the rest by selling to your neighbors, by selling to your chama mates, by selling maybe to your office mates, by selling to, the other counties, and if it's too much, you can, export it, right? So you see, it starts affecting you right there. Exactly. You see, and there are things, just little things tu tunakaa tu chini tunasema tuache kufanya hizi, tufanye hivi, and let's go here. Let's reduce this and that. And I think the other greatest thing that we could help is we manage our waste disposal. like I was telling you a few seconds ago, right now, almost every corner of every road, kuna there's a disposable face mask that is just lying aimlessly. Now that kids are at home and you need them to play and just leave you be, maybe you need to attend to your plans, you need to attend to that Zoom meeting or that Zoom call, or you need to work from the house, yeah? And so you just let them, just wander off within the neighborhood, right? What stops them from collecting those badly disposed face masks? Nothing. And what is that doing to them? They might want to wear it how they see people wear it. Kids will experiment with everything and anything, including green leaves. That is our kids. They're so they're so peculiar people. They wanna understand why everything exists, including why we are breathing this air and not something else. Yeah. And it is okay. They're allowed to be as creative as they can get. And this is the time that we need to to model that, into something, harness that curiosity into, channel it into what they are strong and good at. So you see, wasted. Now, what stops you from tomorrow going to your farm and finding that underneath the soil as you're dealing with your family or with your workers? What stops you from realizing that underneath that soil, it is just nothing but face masks? Nothing, because we just dispose our waste so poorly, so that it is all over. It is just back with us. All you need to do is open that pack of sugar, you know, empty that sugar in a container and just throw that paper nje tu kwa dirisha tu na hapo, and then the next door neighbor afanye hivyo, and for 2 months you do that, and soon after the whole neighborhood ama the whole pathway kwa neighborhood itakuwa na makata za sukari, and there's nothing you can do about it, and that is plastic. It just can't decompose. So you see, we start with there. I've been watching news lately, and you find people who are waiting for nighttime when no one is going to ask them or arrest them, and then they start throwing out the garbage regardless. And I remember it was near a certain school in Nairobi, and their whole tarmac road is covered by waste, and it has not been there for so long. It's barely an year, and those people can't even get a place to they can't even find a place to step to get on the other side of the road. It is that bad. And other schools complaining and saying, hey, our kids just becoming sick even too. You can't even want to serve food from that environment because everything stinks. Even in the kitchen, I don't care if chakula even you want to stir. The stink is already there. It is already there. You see, if we can manage our waste and look at how much electricity we're using, this energy, all this energy, don't you think maybe we could be propelling towards where we want to be or where we need to be? Is this something you want to think about? Cool. Now, here is the question of the day. I'm gonna ask it, and then we're gonna take a really short break. But I'm gonna leave you with a question of the day. Um, can we reach a global scale sustainable agriculture through green farming? Do you think it's possible that if we all decided, well, not everyone, because again, we'll need some time to transition, right? But can you imagine if you used organic farming, if we all used recycled this waste from our cows, from our pigs, our from our poultry, because poultry manure is good, people. If you've never known, there's a secret right there. Can we use the biogas, to cook meals and use solar for instead of electricity? Try see maybe if we go back to where we began, or we use alternative, ways of getting everything else done. Maybe maybe nature will be able to take care of itself and start giving us rainfall as often as it should, start giving us, reliable weather patterns. Like right now, I'm telling you, when we're beginning the show, there was rain, but right now it's not there. You can't even say it was raining. Hata usisema vumbi sharudi. It is Kitengela. You tell me. You see, it is what I'm talking about. So please let me know if you think that we can reach a global scale sustainable agriculture through Green farming. Have you tried green farming? Is it something you would think about or you would go for, given everything held constant? How you find me? I am, or we, Afamas Media. We are on Facebook at Afamas. Also, we are live on YouTube at Afamas Media. You can leave us your comments. Let us know what you think, what your sentiments are. Is it doable, or are we running ahead of ourselves and we still like have a few more miles to go? Do let me know, and I'll be sampling your comments as we get them. We are going to go on a short commercial break. What I need you to do is go sanitize and remember to look for a clean face mask, and the one that you were having yesterday, dispose it well or wash it. And I will see you on the other side of this break. Do not go far. This is the Breakfast Show, and my name is Grace Mothoni.
Cauliflower is a cruciferous vegetable that is naturally high in fiber and B vitamins. Cauliflowers are annual plants that reach about 0.5 meters and bear large rounded leaves. As desired for food, the terminal cluster forms a firm succulent cud or head that is in form of a cluster of flowers. Cauliflowers do well in fertile well-drained soils that are rich in organic matter. Just like other plants, cauliflowers are also affected by different kinds of pests and diseases which can hinder its growth, including unfavorable climate and growing conditions.
The many problems you will see in cauliflowers, and this one just one of them. You can see how the problem is. It's called riciness. You can see it living in a chana, that is, yeah? Living each other. As you always say. But this one is usually caused by low temperatures. Yes. Low temperatures. Low temperatures during planting leads to this problem. So you have to make sure during planting you have favorable temperatures for your crops. Always talk to your agronomist when you plant, so you can know when to plant what and what works when. Temperature will depend on your area, the area you're in. Because I can't tell you we are in Nyandarua, I want to grow this, and you are in somewhere in in coast, it's too hot. Yes, so that will depend also in your locality. Yes, and also if you are in those climates where it always changes, so you have to know When is the cold season? In cold season, you can't do this because of A, B, and C. And if it's too hot, you can't do A, B, and C. So always, that's why I'll just have an agronomist. Will guide you through it. Yes. And also do your market research and know what works where before you grow something as a farmer. Don't just do guessworks. There's a lot of pests that attack cauliflower. The most notorious one is aphids. Aphids will circle your leaves, and one thing you'll know, there's aphids on your leaves. They're always curling. Yes, they will eat, or they will suck the sap out of the leaf, and now when they are too weak, they start curling. They curl inwards. So that's how you'll know you have aphid attack on your farm. Yes. And now what you can do to control aphids on your farm is always keep them in check by spraying. There's always a chemical solutions to it. There's a biological, and then there's IPM. Yes. The perfect head, I'll say it looks like this one. Look at this. It's perfectly round, and it doesn't have any spots on it, and it's intact. That's what makes a perfect head, and is a good size, good market size. Not too small, not too big, not overgrown, just perfect. Yes.
A very good morning to you. How are you doing? Welcome to AFOMS Media, where we are telling the story of the African farmer, one story at a time. This is the breakfast show, and we come to you every single day from Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. all the way to 10 a.m. And we're always here for good, great times and conversations that are going to shape or help you as you navigate in the farming industry or even in agribusiness. Now, my name is Grace Mathoni, and today is no different. But before we delve back into what we were talking about, allow me not scare you, but bring you up to speed with what is happening in the country or in Kenya in regards to COVID 19 because the numbers are going up rapidly and there's nothing we can do about it uh, now that it is there, but there's something you can do about not getting to wherever or escalating this even more. And let me just give you the statistics in the last 24 hours. Here we are. Now, a sample test was conducted yesterday of about 3,000 people, 3,395 people were tested for COVID-19, and out of them, 902 people tested positive just yesterday. That is 24 hours. Yeah. Conrad will be coming in with the latest for today later on at 2, so you should look out for that. But before he gets what he gets that, let us continue using the ones that we've had for the last 24 hours. And the total caseload stands at 131,116 people infected total in this country. Now, even more sad, 18 people succumbed to the illness, or at least the complications that come with COVID-19, and that brings the total caseload of the ones who've succumbed to this virus to 2,135. And you and I both know even one life lost is one too many now. What we need to do is take precaution and stay and be on the safe side of this. I told you, for the very first time in history, we don't want to be caught up in the middle of this war, yeah? We want to live and be the ones telling the story from the other side, yeah? And here is what something else that is happening, and you need to know. It's still in regards to COVID-19 in the country right now. We are in an oxygen crisis now. For the guys who have contracted COVID-19 and they are unable to breathe on their own, you know they require oxygen, yeah, so that they can breathe and to sustain them throughout the time they are in the ICU, yeah, before they are taken back to the general ward. Now, that is what we don't have in the country right now. I mean, all the ICU beds are taken, as well as those uh, the oxygen, the cylinders, hakuna. Now, a few people here and there, the ones who can afford it, have already bought some for themselves as well as their kin. And well, we knew this would happen, but can we just breathe on our own? It is more fun that way, breathing on your own. I was telling a friend of mine here in the studio yesterday. I had a cold and it was so bad that I had lost my sense of smell as well as my taste buds were not working. Let me tell you, you've never appreciated hadi kusikia sewage ikinuka kwa barabara, because you cannot smell anything, nothing, not even your spray or your perfume or your cologne, not even your bathing soap, or is it nothing? How do you pick a food? You know when you're cooking and you can the aroma of the onion cooking, and then you put in your stew, and then maybe you make ugali or rice. I swear, nothing. I have never felt so disappointed in myself for taking for granted something that I've had for so long, that and we're entitled to almost everything, and we feel like breathing is just it is all right, we should be breathing anyway. Why else are we here? I'm telling you, smelling is not, it is not one of those things. So please, you don't want to stop breathing, or you don't want to, on your own, or stop smelling things or tasting things. Can you imagine you're eating your favorite meal, or you're enjoying your dessert? Is it cake? Is it an apple? Whatever. And you can't feel the taste. It becomes even useless to eat. You're hungry. Remember, you're hungry. But you enjoy kukula because you're just eating to, fulfill an obligation to your body, because oh yeah, ni masaa ya kukula. It was that bad. So I know you don't want to be caught on the other side. So kindly, let's observe these three simple rules. And it's not a matter of maybe if you do this, you can forgo this. It's not an either nor. It's an all the above. Yeah. The first one, don't leave your house without a face mask on, going over and above your mouth and nose, right? And make sure if you're using the disposable ones, you have a new one every morning. Yeah, they shouldn't go for more than 8 hours. Also, when you're disposing them, please just dispose to vizuri too, don't just throw it in open air, or throw it through your window or your car window. Please don't, yeah, just put the two kwa dustbin tu vizuri. Wait until you go burn your litter, or wait until the litter guys come to pick the litter during the week or whatever, exactly. Now, if you're using the ones that are washable, make sure every morning you have a clean one, and the previous night wash the one that you had, right? So that at no time will you be out of a clean face mask. And also, it helps to carry an extra one. Trust you me, it does. It helps. Imagine if you're walking or running and then it started raining and you didn't have an extra one. What will you do? And umefika kwa gari and you need to board a matatu, ama you need to get to the convenience store and get yourself milk and bread. What will happen? Exactly. At least to make sure you get an extra one, yeah? Another important regulation or to carry through the day is wash your hands as often as you can with soap and running water. Now, if you're unable to access a hand washing point, make sure you can sanitize. Are we together? Is that all right? Cool. now that you know that one, the third guideline or regulation that you should take care of is maintaining a physical distance of about 1.5 to 2 meters between you and the next person. Yeah, my director is in agreement with that. Amesema kila mtu afanye hivyo. So please make sure that you are doing it right. Now, what we need to go to something that was in the news yesterday, and the food security report in the country or in Kenya, inasema 74% of Kenyans have skipped meals in a day. Either mtu anaamka anakula sapa au anakula breakfast peke yake, lunch ni luxury. Ama mnaamka asubuhi tu unakunywa maji teketeke, unaenda hivyo ukisikia harufu ya mandazi all the way mtaani hivyo hadi job, unarudi home lunch time unakunywa maji mingi bado, ama unakunywa chai. If your office can give you tea, you take more tea, or if or you're working you're given lunch dandi hapo hivyo. Jioni kama ulikula lunch unaweza sari jioni, ama kama kukula the whole day unakula at least supper ndio upate usingizi, because now again warmth comes from the food we eat. Yeah, so night you need some warmth to keep you, to the next day. We are at 74% of people who have skipped. These guys didn't eat 3 meals a day. Like I said, we are entitled, and some of us think it is a must to eat 3 meals. Now, here is a news flash. There are some people, 74% in the last 1 year, wame skip a meal just to be able to afford other things like rent and face masks and everything else together. So they have to skip a meal a day. Can you imagine how sad it is? And we are here saying we want to create a sustainable, food security. We want to have, unajua vile mabodyguards, you know the way our politicians can't go anywhere without security because they feel like they will be robbed, or they will, I don't know what they are fearing from people who elect them. I have no idea. They need to tell us one day. Yeah, we'll have a discussion one day, right? If we elected you and you didn't have a bodyguard, no, when we elect you and when we employ you and put you there, why do you need a bodyguard all of a sudden? What changes? Yeah, right? Now you see. Manze. Anyway, that I digress. What you're talking about is we need to have security. In this case, we all need security for just that one purpose, for food. And like I told you, if a people is fed and well fed, you don't have to worry about economy. You pana tu wenyewe because these people will be energetic, and all they would want to do is work. Kama ni mtu anabeba, mtu anabebanga someone, whatever you do, let's say if it's someone who maybe transports things from one place to another, if they are full at throughout the day, what stops them from kuchangamkia kazi? Nothing. If a teacher is full and they do not miss any meal, they will even be happy, and your kids will be happy in school, right? Exactly. So you see, you feed the people, and you can and you can be assured that your economy is taken care of. Now starve these people or let these people starve, and you can't do anything, because we need energy. We need energy. We need to take care of our bodies, because this is the machine that carries you throughout the day. If you want to walk from here to go to town, you will use this body. If you need to go and till the land, you will need this body. If you need to go and cultivate, this body. If you need to go and harvest, so we take this care of this machine so that it can take care of everything else that we need. Yeah, because if you're hungry, you can't even lift a jerrycan of water because you're too hungry, nguvu imeisha, and you need to replenish, right? Exactly. So imagine if we are able to take care of these machines, these machineries. Yeah, mili zetu ni machine. Yeah, because they carry us through the day. What stops us from working even extra? Yeah, you wake up and you find people at 6 a.m. wako kwa shamba wanasema because it looks like it's going to rain at 8 na tuko tumaliza kuweed, let's weed out mbio so that when the rain comes everything will be all right. Yeah, these people are just self-motivated just because wameshiba tu. So imagine if we all work towards maybe utilizing some of these things, like last time we were talking about using communal land to try grow food. Yeah, that could work. And today we're talking about sustainable agriculture and green farming, and that could work. In places where we were using too much money maybe for manure, let's try using cow dung. Let's try using this pottery, waste that they're leaving. Instead of paying too much electricity and then we're having all these emissions in the air and then they're causing global warming and then affecting the climate pattern, why can't we use biogas from our cows, from our cattle, and let's produce efficient energy into our homes, right? Exactly, right. And then we won't even have all these diseases that are accompanied by all these things, right? Maybe I wouldn't even be wearing glasses because who knows, maybe I would be right, right? And maybe you wouldn't be using that extra thing that you must use because you can't use what you had initially. Exactly, you see, if we keep doing these things, I am sure we will be able to have something we are calling a sustainable agriculture through green farming. And that brings me to my question of the day again. I'm going to repeat it. Can we reach a global scale sustainable agriculture through green farming? And is it green farming does not mean that we go and start having greenhouses, all of us know. It is green farming starting from the manure you're using, the pesticides that you're using, how much plastics are or synthetic things are you foreign things that are you introducing to your soil when you're farming, or how much of waste is found in your soil after you've disposed it kwa barabara and then the wind brings it back because hey, the nature is taking care of itself. Yeah, we need to be able to take care of our nature, no, of our environment, so that now nature can replenish and start giving us what we need in return. When was the last time you just walked by vizuri tu ukapatana tu na mti tu imemea tu mahali tu kwa barabara and it's producing mangoes? Zero. Haziko, none, non-existent. Haziko, zero. It's not even possible. Even sugarcane, the way my mom would tell me wakitoka shule, they would pita kwa barabara tu, and then sugarcane is just hanging from almost every homestead's fence, and no one even asks you if you eat because it is in surplus, it is in plenty. So mnatoa kimoja, mnagawana, and then that will be enough transport or enough fuel for you guys to get home because they're walking. Guys, these guys used to walk, barefoot actually. Exactly. There we are. You see, it is as simple as going back to our ways, sitting back and looking at where did the rain start meeting us, or how did we get here where we are? Can we sit down and say, hey, if we do 1 2 3, eliminate 4 5 6, we will have 7 8 9, yeah, and then these ones put together will bring us back to where we were. Because honestly, if we can't be able to start from what we can afford or what we already have, what makes us think that you're going to be able to even produce a surplus of food to be able to, maybe sell the surplus, the plenty? Where do we think we're going to be able to do that if we can't take care of the things that we are having right now? Now, I don't mean to sound like I'm ranting, no. But when you think about it, oh, you want to rant, yeah? Now that I've asked you a question, I'm going to read it once more, and then I can give you the channels or where you can send your opinions, right? Or your feedback or your reactions. Now, can we reach a global scale sustainable agriculture through green farming? Have you yourself, is there anything that is green about the way you farm? Is there? Do you use biogas maybe in your house? Maybe to in your food processing hub or company that is probably in your house or wherever it is. What are you using, right? Those are the things I need to know. Are we able to use sustainable agriculture through green farming? Are we able to get there? Is it something that is viable? Is it something that you can go back to uh, actively? Do let me know, and you can find us on Facebook at Our Farmers and on YouTube at Our Farmers Media. Let us interact, share our thoughts, and I'll be reading our comments just before we go to farm. Yeah. Now, there's something else I haven't told you this morning, but I'm going to say it real quick and then we can go back to our business of the day. It is a breakfast quote of the day. And this is what it says: once in your life, you need a doctor, a lawyer, a policeman, and a preacher. But every day, 3 times a day, you need a farmer. Mhm. Think about it. Think about it. Well, so far so good. I have not had a need for a lawyer, but a doctor, yeah, last week I did. A policeman every single day because this matter to people. Ay, ay, ay. are driving us nuts. And a preacher, of course, every Sunday at kama say to kanisa, I'm seeing them virtually. So yes, I need a preacher. But a farmer I do need every day. For the wheat that I'm eating in that bread, someone produced it, mwingine kaenda process. But hey, the farmer was there first, right? For the fries that you will eat at lunchtime, what fries naona nyinyi wote. I won't say names. Yeah, I can see all of you. For the potato to be what it is that you're eating at that point, there was a farmer who was involved. You see, that's a farmer. For supper, the guys who are going to eat ugali and probably, skuma wiki. That is again flour, and that is skuma wiki. And a farmer or farmers were involved in growing those things before they got to the end product that they are on your table. Exactly. Just as simple as that. That is what we're talking about. Anyway, welcome. So, thank you so much for tuning in to the Breakfast Show. If you're just joining us, my name is Grace Mothoni, and the show happens every single day from Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. all the way to 10 a.m. And today is no different. And we are talking about green farming or green farm or going back to what we used to have in the past. Trying to just heal this land because nature is no longer taking care of itself. It's nature is no longer taking care of it. Like when we started this podcast, I said that nature is overwhelmed. It is out. It is done. I mean, just a few seconds ago, no, before like an hour ago, we had rain for like 10 seconds. I can promise it was like for 10 seconds. Na imeenda hivyo and this is the time for long rains. Mimi sijaona hizo long rains bado nazingoja, sijui kama zimekwama ama cessation of movement ndo inafanya sijui, maybe hey, let's wait. But hey, it is bad, so we need to be able to go back to where we began. Now that we know we can use biogas, can we go back to it? Can we stop using too much electricity? Because what is it doing? There's too much money we are using in it, and this money we could be using to invest in agriculture. Like I said, yeah, we need to take our children to go and learn, or the youth, or the new farmers, to give them an education in agriculture. Like I said, there's so much we can exploit in agriculture, and it's going unexploited. Nobody's taking care of it because hakuna pesa. Now, if we are able to use solar, maybe solar lighting, right? Exactly. Yes, I can see how you're nodding your head. I'm talking to you. You see, that is now us going back to green farming, or at least sustaining or taking care of this environment because nature is no longer able to take care of it. It is overwhelmed. If you don't dispose your waste aimlessly, if you maybe like have a place where you burn your litter, and then the organic litter mnaekea ng'ombe za neighbor, ama there's someone who pitters and collects it. I know in so many estates nowadays, now that everyone is living in gated communities, maendeleo tu huku tu watu wanatesa kutesa. There are systems in place where you maybe like on Monday and Wednesday, or like on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, there is a garbage collector car that comes around, or a farmer or someone who comes on behalf of the farmers to collect, hizo maganda za machungwa, maganda za all those things, and they take them to go help themselves, maybe by giving it to the, you understand what I'm saying, right? I'm using so many words to just say that we need to have proper waste disposal, or we manage how we dispose our waste, and it is as simple as that. Can you imagine if tomorrow we wake up? By the way, whatever happened to let me digress kidogo. Whatever happened to cleaning days in Nairobi? I've been waiting for them. Was it a day every month, or was it a day weekly? I think it's a day monthly. Yeah, if my memory serves me correct, I think it's once. It was supposed to be once monthly. What happened to those days? NMS, what happened? We're still waiting. We're still waiting. Anyway, because it is bad to a point where people are waiting for when other people are sleeping at night, go and dispose their garbage. And then in the morning when we wake up, tunapata barabara ilikuwa 5 kilometers. Sai hata half a kilometer hakuna, hatuwezi pita hiyo njia, kumejaa garbage. and no one is bothered about it, and then it starts affecting inatukula tu pole pole, because like I said, you utaenda kwa shamba, even your garden hapo nje hapo kwa kitchen hapo tu nyuma ya nyumba, unaenda kulima unapata half of, underneath the soil, half of it ni plastic water bottles and face masks, now that they're being disposed everywhere. It is how we are treating this environment. It responds. What you give, it's garbage in, garbage out, right? What we are giving out will be coming in, and we'll still give it out, and then the environment will take it in and it will give it back to us. Nona, hakuna atusaidiani. There's a famous quote from where I come from, and I'm just gonna say it in English so that everyone can understand. Yeah, they say that the one who's running and the one who's running after the first person, both of them get tired. Yeah, mwenye anakimbia, mwenye anakimbizana, wote wawili watachoka na watarelax tu, watacha tu kukimbia, regardless of ameshikwa ameshikana. That is not important. The fact that is both of them will get tired. Yeah, and now the environment is tired. We've been tunaikimbiza tunatupa plastic leo, tunatupa nini kila kitu, tunamwaga kila kitu, and that is where we are at. That is why I'm saying the environment or the nature will not take care of anything. It is upon you and I. And when we come back, we are going to look at just some of the sustainable things that we can do. They're not too many, probably 4 or 5. And then we will call it a day, but we'll have learned something before we embark on this whole, save the earth, save us, let us have sustainable food security probably for the next 1 decade. Let's start from where we are, because if we are able to do this, it will replicate, and what we give will come back to us. Just like I'm telling you, if you wear your face mask, if you sanitize, if you keep your physical distance, corona haitakuwa na mtu wa kushika, it will just go wherever it came from, you see. Anyway, I'll see you on the side of this break. Do not go too far. This is a breakfast show only on Farmers Media. I will see you in a short while.
Here. Join us every Tuesday on Diagnostic Tuesday, where we talk about various issues affecting agriculture and interacting with experts with knowledge in different sectors of agriculture to provide you with appropriate solutions, giving hope to farmers to attain better yields, to achieve financial success and development. Our farmers attain knowledge and grow profits.
Farmers is the home of Africa Farmers Club, and by extension, African Farmers. The whole idea behind Farmers is to transform the image of an African farmer from a producer into an agripreneur, somebody who actually does not think about how to produce onions, but how much is going to be used to produce onions, and so that way then they can be able to transform their vision, they can be able to look at their farms as businesses, and they can be able to know when to engage with the market. What we have done is that we have developed a hub where farmers bring their information, bring their questions, their challenges, and other farmers are there to come out and help. Facebook has not just been instrumental, Facebook has been a working partner for myself as well. And how they have, Facebook has actually transformed the way we relate, an open platform. My background is in tech, and I know you cannot build a platform that can reach out to so many people. Initially, it was just a few farmers in 2 counties, Machakos County and Kajiado counties, but now it has transformed. We have a stronger membership from Nigeria and Zambia than even Kenya itself, you know. And the reason behind this is the messages I get from different farmers across Africa. And then something interesting came to my mind, and I thought about using the camera. Every time I visited farmers, I would be able to post in the community, in the group, in my own profile, and just share the story of the farmer that I visited. And then I asked myself, why wouldn't I get this information, develop it in a way that other people can be able to benefit? If we go for a training, how do we capture that so that those who are not, the farmers who are not able to come for that training can still benefit? And hence the birth of a Farmers Media. Our mission as an organization is to help farmers, African farmers, to attain knowledge and grow profits.
A very good morning to you. How are you doing? Welcome to Alphamas Media, where we are telling the story of the African farmer, one story at a day. And it is exactly 55 minutes past 9 a.m. in the morning. Just 5 more minutes, and we will be at 10 a.m. A very good morning to you. In case you're joining us for the first time, this is the breakfast show with me, Grace Muthoni, and it begins at 8 a.m. all the way to 10 a.m. every single day from Monday to Friday. And we are bringing you stories, or at least we are trying to keep sanity in the agriculture sector, as well as answering some of the troubleshot questions. And in case you feel like you've been asking a question, or you in your head and you didn't have anywhere to reach out to, remember you can reach us to you can reach out to us on all our social media pages, that is Facebook at AFarmers, as well as YouTube at AFarmers Media, and a response will be sent to you, as well as any other thing you will have asked. Is a question, a concern? Would you like people to come visit your